Class, it is time for Bible for pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. We're going to think about Gideon and cooperation, which means to work together toward a common goal. We're going to be thinking about our memory verse. You should be very close to having your whole memory verse memorized now. Two people are better than one. They can help each other in everything they do. Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9. And I thought if you have a blue Bible like this at home or another Bible, today would be a great day to get it out and see if you can find the story of Gideon. If you have your blue Bible at home, you'll turn to Gideon's Army on page 136. Some Israelites had settled in a valley that was good for farming, but they had to share the land with wandering tribes who moved in with their tents and herds of cattle and sheep. Once again, the Israelites found themselves in trouble because they had turned from God. The wandering tribes robbed the Israelites and drove them out of their villages. The Israelites had to live in caves in the mountains. Once again, they called to God for help. God chose a new leader for his people. Gideon was a farmer. God came to him and said, I am giving you the power to save Israel. And down here in the box, it has one of our key words, tribes. These tribes were nomads called Midianites. Nomads are people without fixed homes. They wander from place to place looking for grazing land for their herds or food. So God came to Gideon, who was a farmer, and he said, I am giving you the power to save Israel. And here's Gideon's response. But how can I save Israel? Gideon asked. I am not an important man. I will help you, God told him. Gideon was not sure he was actually talking with the God of Israel. But finally he believed. Before long, Gideon had an army of 10,000 men. That's a pretty big army, isn't it? 10,000 men. You don't need this many soldiers, God told him. I'll test them and tell you which ones can go with you. God told Gideon to take the men down to the spring and ask them to take a drink. Most of the men got down on their knees to drink. But 300 of them scooped up water in their hands and lapped it with their tongues, as dogs do. Can you see the difference in this picture? See how this man is on his knees and he's drinking out of the creek? And this man, he has his hands scooped like this. And see how these men are standing up? Which of these do you think can notice if an enemy were coming? Do you think this man kneeling down could see the enemy easily? Do you think this man would be ready to be prepared against the enemy? Or how about these men that are standing up and drinking out of their hands? Which of these do you think God chose to be in the army? The ones that were watchful. This showed that the men were alert and ready for anything. These were the men that Gideon was to choose for his army. It would be 300 against many thousands. At night, Gideon's army surrounded the enemy camp. Gideon gave each man a trumpet, doo, 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 and a large clay jar with a burning torch inside. At his signal, the men broke the jars, then blew their horns. The light from the 300 torches and the noise of the 300 trumpets scared the enemies. They ran off in all directions and never came back. As long as Gideon was their leader, the people of Israel lived in peace. Gideon the farmer, who felt he was the weakest of the weak, became a mighty warrior because he cooperated with God's plans and he trusted God. Now today, boys and girls, what I would like you to do is get out your cooperation paper. We're going to make a little booklet about cooperation. And I want you to open up your cooperation checklist and lift up the first flap. You'll notice that there are two boys here trying to get up this steep mountain. How do you think they're cooperating? What do you think they're doing that is cooperative here? Well, we're going to fold it up and it says, when working with others, I need to... Oh, it looks like they're helping. I need to be helpful. Helpful. I need to be helpful. That's one way to be cooperative, isn't it? Is to be helpful. And you don't have to write this. You might have your own idea of how to be cooperative. How about these people here? Look at them. When they're looking at each other, it looks like they might be respectful. Another way to cooperate is to be respectful. When working with others, I need to be respectful. Respectful is a pretty big word. I'm going to have to squeeze it in. That's another way to cooperate. Look at this boy. What does he have around his neck? Does it look like a medal? How do you think he won that medal? Let's lift it up and see. When working with others, I need to... I'm going to choose work as a team. That's another way to cooperate, isn't it? To work as a team. So boys and girls, I want you to do your cooperation checklist. I forgot my periods, didn't I?